All right. Well, welcome to another creator hangout. This is a special one. It's special because tomorrow is Memorial Day. For those of you who are watching in the United States, you know that tomorrow we celebrate Memorial Day. And for those who are watching outside of the United States, you know that we also, you probably do know about what it is. So, Memorial Day is a day where we remember those who have sacrificed so much for our freedoms here in the United States. I come from a long line of people who have served in the military. I both grandfathers on my grandfather on both sides. Well, my grandpa Hill and my grandpa Locke both served in World War II. My father served in Vietnam, and it was just such a great. It's such an honor to know that have that lineage. So a cool story about my grandpa Hill. He was a tank driver in World War II, and in the Battle of the Bulge, that was a very hard battle. If you don't know what that is, I would highly recommend you go and investigate it. He was one of the tank drivers that went in and saved the Allied forces that were surrounded by the Axis power. And so years later, in a local newspaper here in Utah, there was a young man. Well, he was a young man then, but he was older at this time. He said he was a young man in that, and he was one of those Allied forces troopers that was surrounded by the Axis power. And he talked about how when he and the rest of his platoon and everything, when they saw the reinforcements coming, they were all screaming with excitement because before then they were scared, they were crying. But when they saw all those reinforcements coming from the Allied forces, they were screaming in excitement. And that made me feel good knowing that my grandfather helped save his life. And, my father he served in Vietnam. My other grandfather, my father's father, my grandpa Locke, he served in World War II as well. And the military runs strong in my family. We are strong believers, and we are very patriotic. We love the United States of America. We are very respectful. But honestly, I just want to take a few minutes and just to really say thank you to those who have served in the world, for who have helped protect, who have helped to protect the lives of others. There's a lot of calamity going on right now, even as we speak in the Ukraine. And so I just want to say a big, big thank you to all those who have come before me and have saved. And sorry, I can't talk all of a sudden. Have served and really just given of their time, and some have made the ultimate sacrifice and have sacrificed their lives for the freedoms that I enjoy. And I'm very thankful for that. And just want to go to the chat real quickly. We have a few people. Lewis, or Nano, as I know him. Thank you for stopping by, man. I appreciate you. And he's actually the one that created the thumbnail for this. I got to give a big shout out to him. He's very good when it comes to making thumbnails. So thank you, Lewis. And then we got Daylin. Daylin is in the house. Thanks for stopping by. I know you're on the East Coast, and so I appreciate you taking the time to stop by and see what's going on. And let's see here. So then we got Sharkfin text. Sharkfin, I still got to say it's nice to see the photo. It's nice to see a photo on your YouTube channel. Your cover, your YouTube channel art is amazing. And Lewis helped him with that as well. And yeah, it's just been great. And then we got Annette. Annette, if you would like to come up and be up here on stage with me, I would love to have you come up. This is just going to be a very kind of relaxed, but it's kind of special creator hangout. I really want to get people's involvement in this. I love talking about content creation, but I also know that I wouldn't be where I am without you guys and without those who've sacrificed so much for the freedoms I enjoy. And that's why I brought up Memorial Day. A lot of people think that Memorial Day is just like a day where you can go and have a big barbecue with your family and have fun and maybe have the day off. Like I have the day off from work tomorrow, but really it's all about remembering where we come from and who's paid the ultimate sacrifices in defending our freedoms here in here in the country of the United States. And so, yeah, I'm really grateful to have you guys. Without you guys, I wouldn't be here. And I actually picked up a subscriber last night. Apparently, I was scrolling through my YouTube channel, and I noticed that I picked up a subscriber. So, for whoever that was that subscribed, I appreciate you and know that you are valued, and we all appreciate you in this community. So, when it comes to content creation, I've thought about this and thought about this. I remember when I first thought how much fun it would be to be a content creator or like a YouTuber. I was a bagger at a grocery store, and I had come across a video called John Williams is the Man by this guy named Corey Vidal. And it was just a whole music video dedicated to John Williams, different with the various popular soundtracks that he has made for like Star Wars, Indiana Jones, Superman, all that kind of stuff. And I remember hearing that like he had a partnership with YouTube, and I thought in my mind like, oh, that'd be cool to like have a partnership with YouTube and like work from home. And that was the end of that. And I kind of went on. I moved forward, and I just thought, I'm just going to continue to do what I wanted to do. But then as the years went by, I really started to kind of play with the idea of being a content creator. And so, long story short, you guys have already heard this, but this is what I'm doing now this is my chosen career path, so that I'm in the process of building this company, building this community, and really just helping you to be helping you to understand tech, helping you to understand photography, videography, and really just doing these creator hangouts and really just answering questions with you guys. We have a lot of creators in the room, and in the room. That's a Clubhouse term. If you don't know what Clubhouse is, I would highly recommend you jump on, because there's a lot of us in there. So, but again, Nano, I appreciate you so much with that thumbnail. That was very shocking when you sent that to me on Friday. I had been working out in the sun a lot and kind of got a little bit of heat stroke because it was pretty warm here in Utah that day. But I appreciate you. And of course, I appreciate Sharkfin. Sharkfin was actually on my creator hangout last week. So this is an open invitation to any of you guys. If you want to come up and be a part of where we can talk, somewhat face to face, I guess virtually face to face, let me know, and I would be happy to send you a link to it. But yeah. And yep, Dalen says, hi, all you Clubhouse fam. And so that's really what this has kind of become. Like, we've all become kind of like a family, and we love being able to help each other to grow and to be to succeed. And really, that's just what, in my eyes, as a content creator, like, we all grow together and we all fall together. And so that's why I always tell people, like, if you want me to share your links, if I had any of my mods here, I would be telling them that they could be dropping some links, but I don't have any mods here at the present moment. But I might be throughout the live stream. I'll probably have some mods coming, and if not, I'll just be dropping some links to the various channels, because we got some very talented and skilled creators in here. Daylin, we have Sharkfin, who's going to be dropping his first video very soon. We have Annette, who's just killing it down in real estate down in the Florida area. She just went to a really cool Podfest convention, I believe. And we got Nano. He's all about the mobile tech and really helping you to understand mobile tech. So, we got some very talented and very skilled creators on the live stream right now. And so really, like, if you don't know who these people are, I would highly recommend that you go check out their content, because they just are going to be doing some outstanding stuff. Like, Daylin just dropped she has 2 channels, and she just dropped her first video for her second channel. And I'm very excited for her. Daylin, I'm going to be watching that probably later on tonight. But I'm excited for you, because I know that you've been wanting to kind of integrate and do like a vlog type channel since you're a stay-at-home mom, which is totally fine. Like, I think that that's a fantastic idea. But yeah, so content creation is not an easy road. We talk about this all the time in Clubhouse. We talk about how there are naysayers. There are people who will consistently like try to tear you down. There was a few of us. I brought up this question last night on a Clubhouse room, and the question I proposed and that I brought up was, how do people feel knowing that YouTube doesn't show the dislikes on a video anymore? And honestly, when it comes down to it, I think it was a smart idea. We talked. We had several different comments about it last night, and really, like, I think it was a smart idea because there are a lot of trolls on this platform called YouTube, and to know that they they kind of took away their power really kind of makes me feel even better and more excited as a content creator, because we all know that there are people that, the moment you drop a new pre-recorded video, they're just like, we're going to do a dislike button. It's almost like they're getting paid to do this. And so being a content creator is not easy. Like, Professor Nez in his live stream this morning, he talked about passive income and how a lot of people have this mentality that they can just start a YouTube channel, maybe throw up a few videos, and really just start raking in the money like from day one. And those of us who are in content creation, that that's not true. You have to build the community. You have to build your reputation, your understanding. And people can say like, oh, well, if you want to know about like, real estate in Florida, you got to go check out Annette's channel. Or if you want to know what the life is like in, stay-at-home mom, go check out Daylin's channel. Or if you want to know everything to do with finance, go check out Shark Fins. Or, mobile tech, go check out Nanos. And so really, you have to kind of build that reputation, as I've come to find. And the biggest killer of any creator, and I'm sure those who are watching or listening, even on the replay, can all agree, is the comparison syndrome. When I first started on YouTube, I compared myself to people like Peter McKinnon, and so Mr. Beast, obviously, because he's one of the biggest creators on the platform. And really, that's just a killer. Like it kills more dreams than anything. And so when it comes down to it, really just being involved and just putting forth, that effort and trying to get out that content, that's what counts. That's what matters. And, one of my mentors, Sean Cannell, he has a few sayings. One of them is punch fear in the face and hit record. And then the other saying that goes along with that is 1% better with every video. And so those are goals that, if you are really desirous and becoming like a content creator or a YouTuber, YouTube entrepreneur, however you want to call it, those are some things you should keep in mind. And I'm sure that people in the chat would agree with me on that, because if you're just throwing up a ton of stuff trying to see what will stick, it might work, but 9 out of 10 times it's not going to work. I've talked with a lot of people who have had that kind of attitude where they're like, oh yeah, well, I tried a YouTube channel for like 4 months, and then, well, it didn't really pan out, so I just kind of gave up on it. And I just thought in my mind, like, you didn't give it enough time. What value were you bringing to the YouTube platform? Like, you got to bring that value. But I want to go back to the chat real quick. Yeah, I'm excited for you, Daylin. I'm really excited for you. I have plans for several channels after this one takes off, and I'm really excited for you that's. And then we got Elvira. Thank you for stopping by. Appreciate you. And then Daylin says, Elvira, I'm happy to be here for the first time. Daylin, we're happy to have you here for the first time. So really, it's just all about how committed are you to the process. You said, I agree, trying to improve with every video. And it really comes down to, like, are you posting content that you want to see, or are you posting content that your viewers are seeking after? You have to post content with your viewers in mind. And honestly, I cannot stress that enough, because when I first started on YouTube, I didn't know what ASQ meant. I didn't know I didn't know the various platforms or places you could utilize to help with your content creation. And I was just I was a newbie. Like I was a greenie. And so for those who are wondering, what is ASQ, and that's answer specific questions. And so really, if someone has clicked on your video for a reason, like let's say we'll use this live stream, for example, if someone clicks on the replay or they'll click on the news on this live, they're coming here because they want to know, well, maybe what kind of stuff can I expect to know about being a creator on YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram. And really, you have to start answering those ASQs, those answering those specific questions, especially bringing that value to them as a viewer. And you want to be able to return, you want to be able to have them have the desire to return. And so going back to the chat, Dalen Alvar says, "Hey, Dalen, these are always fun and great to support." But yeah, it's and then Sharkfin says, "Ideally, Anthony, both of those things are in alignment," and that's true. And you gotta make sure that number one, you gotta make sure your topic or your niche is interesting enough. There's a lot of people that they have great intentions when it comes to getting on YouTube, whether it be they want to start a vlog channel, like Dalen just started a vlog channel, and or we have other people in our YouTube community, like the Elliott family of 7, A Train, that his family's channel is it's a vlog shopping haul channel. You have to bring value to your niche. And I can't stress that enough, because if you don't bring value to your niche, people are going to click off after a few minutes. And one thing I need to reinforce is that don't do clickbait. Don't clickbait people. I've seen this a lot on the YouTube platform. I've seen a lot of people who they try to clickbait just to try to get subscribers. But a great example of someone that's just killing it on the YouTube platform right now is Emily D. Baker. If you don't know who Emily D. Baker is, she has her law degree. She's no longer practicing law. She's just a law consultant now. She just consults people now. But she's been covering the Depp Heard defamation trial for the past 29 days or so. I think that's that. And so when she first started out, she had 100,000 subscribers, and now she has over 500,000 subscribers. And it's just because people know that she's bringing value. She's giving her input, but she's also respecting people. I got to give props to her mods, because if someone posts a negative comment, they immediately just remove it, and they will message that person and say "Hey, we try to be respectful of everybody's opinions around here. Please know that we see you, but please keep this friendly and polite." But she also pulls up people's questions, whether it be a super chat or just a question in general. She genuinely tries to take care of her viewers and make them know that she cares about them being there. And that's really what it comes down to when it comes to being a content creator. I've talked about this a lot, because the subscribers are probably one of the most important parts about being a content creator. The viewership, the watch time, that's all so important. But you got to make sure that your subscribers understand that you acknowledge who they are, that they are a person or a human being, and that you are not better than them, that you're on the same bars, that you're on the same level of playing ground as they are, but you just maybe have a little bit more information on a certain topic than they do, and they have more information on a topic than you on certain situations. So really, that's what it comes down to. But no, Elvira, we know what you meant. You're good. We appreciate you being here. We really do appreciate you being here. But really, when it comes down to being a content creator, it's all about what you put into it. I can't stress that enough. I have seen a lot of people burn out. They either stretch themselves too thin, or they expected it to be an overnight sensation. Anyone in the chat or who's watching this on the replay, that is not true. It's like a 1 in a millionth chance, maybe greater than that your channel is going to take off overnight. But really, when it comes down to it, it's all about what effort you're going to put into this. I cannot stress that enough, because I didn't post last year was kind of a rough year for me. I won't get into details, but I didn't post that much for 4 months. And so my channel didn't really grow. It didn't grow in watch time. It didn't really grow in, subscriber counts. It didn't grow really at all because I wasn't bringing the value that people were needing. So they were going to other people for that value. And so really just bringing forth that value and putting forth the effort, if you want to do this for a career, you got to treat it like a job, you know, and that includes batch recording. That includes making sure that you're staying on top of whatever is new in your niche and really just being involved and, being so I'm in the tech, photography, videography niche, and so I have to constantly be watching, kind of taking notes, whether it be physically or mentally, of like new and upcoming tech that is coming out, or just producing that great value, that great content from a photographer standpoint or from a videographer standpoint, and really just getting people excited to be there watching my videos. There's a lot of great content creators out there. Mr. Beast is one of them. Peter McKinnon is another one. And then there's other people, like there's Preston. He's in Texas. He's the owner of Fire Merch, and he gets people involved. He does things that are trending. Like he does a lot of Minecraft stuff, but he does that because he knows that he's going to get some viewership. There's a lot of people right now that are obsessed with Minecraft, and he also busts myths that have been going on along in the internet for so long. But going back to the chat, Daylin says, one way I try to bring value to my audience on my vlog is by sharing mom stories, sharing tips on how to take better photos of your kids. I am focusing more and more on giving value, and that's important. Like, you got to give that value. I'm going to come back to that comment here in a sec, but Nano says, like the saying goes, Rome wasn't built in one day, and that's so true. Nano, you've been on this platform for a little while now, and you've been on it longer than I have, actually, and so that like it really comes down to people, and it comes down to how much effort you're going to put into this. And I cannot emphasize that enough because effort is everything. And then he responded to Dalen and said, Dalen, you are right. Value is more important, is important word in the social media world. And that's so true. So Dalen, going back to this comment that Dalen said, when she was like trying to bring value to her audience in her vlog, sharing her stories and everything. When I first considered starting a YouTube channel, there was a YouTube husband and wife that I was following. They're located here in Utah. It's Ellie and Jared Meekum, and they were posting videos about their struggles of trying to grow their family. Trying to get pregnant. They were having infertility problems, and they posted it, and it was raw. It was real, and they posted some of the hardships they had, and how when they'd have a miscarriage, they would post a video about how hard it was through it. But they posted that because they wanted people to know that they were just like them, and they wanted to give them some expertise and help them to know, like, hey, we're going through this, and we're sure you're going through this, and so this is what we've done to help get through this, and so maybe you can follow suit and really just try to help. We're just trying to help you be a better future mom and dad, or helping you to grow your family. But bringing value is probably one of the most important parts about being a content creator, and I say that from personal experience. My first few videos, they didn't really hit. They kind of took off a little bit, but they didn't really take off because it wasn't really what the viewers were seeking after. It was what I was wanting to post. And Professor Nez, he always says in his live streams that you have to post with your viewers in mind, and that there's so much truth in that. And I cannot emphasize his words enough, because he really comes down to the brass taxes and just being blunt, saying like, look, you got to do it this way, or you're just not going to succeed, because you're producing content for your viewers, not for you. But on that note, you have to make sure that you would go back and watch it. If your videos are videos that you feel like wouldn't be appropriate for you to watch, you probably shouldn't be posting them. There's a lot of people that they really don't understand that or grasp that concept, and that's why, like, I try to keep my content very family oriented. If a few swear words drop in like a video, or like a live stream, I just try to either give people a heads up, or I just try to try to have people be careful, because like I want this to be a family oriented, family. I want this to be able to be a channel that kids from like the ages of 10 all the way to people in their 80s and 90s could watch, but then they would all find joy and value in it, and they wouldn't have to worry about, oh crap, we can't have our son or daughter watching his stuff because it swears, he talks about inappropriate this, because that's not who I am. I and you going along with that is you have to have that moral. You have to set your morals and know that you're not willing to cross those morals. I come from a very Christian family, and so in my faith, we talk about the fact that you got to basically take the route of being a Boy Scout. And we all know what the route of a Boy Scout is. Is a Boy Scout is honorable, brave, courteous, kind, all that kind of stuff. And really, growing up, I was taught the golden rule. Do unto others as you'd have done unto them. So like I try to keep that in my content. But going back to the chat, so Annette just posted this, and she said, "Your first video was awesome, Daylin. Way to go!" So, Daylin, I can't wait to watch your video. I'm gonna be probably watching it after. I have to I'm in summer semester for college, and I have a few things I gotta post tonight before midnight. So then after I do that, I will probably, as I'm winding down to go to sleep at night, I'll probably watch your video. But I'm excited to watch it. And so Daylin said, "It is also important that we enjoy the process, that we continue to create great content, but we have fun and stay motivated." And that is true. I've been contacted by a lot of those quote unquote SEO experts on, via LinkedIn. And really, when it comes down to it, they're like, "Oh, well, I can guarantee you'll have great SEO." I always tell people, avoid those people, because in the end, they will take at least half of your profits. And really, it's like what Dalen just said, it's all about the journey. And really, like, you gotta stay motivated, but you gotta have fun with this. Like, if you're not having fun with creating YouTube content, then why are you on the platform? Like, are you just on here for the money? Are you just on here for the fame? You really should be on here to bring value, to bring encouragement, and to really just bring some light to the internet. There's a lot of hard things that are going on in the world right now. Inflation, is just growing rampant, and the mere fact that gas right now is so unbelievably high, and there's a lot of people who are really struggling financially right now. And so a lot of people come to YouTube to kind of escape and to kind of get their mind off of their stresses and concerns. So, what are you willing to do as a content creator to bring out that stress relief for people? And what kind of good content, I should say, are you willing to bring to this platform? So, and then Dalen's like, thanks, Annette. I can't wait to start working on my next one. And really, there's a question that has been proposed in the past, and the question was, how often should you post a video? And my answer to that question would be at least once a week. Some people may say once a month, and it kind of depends on your niche, your content. Some people post like once a month, and they get like a lot of subscribers. They get a lot of value. People get a lot of value out of the content. But for me personally, I try to post once a week. The past little bit, I haven't been able to post because I've been busy with school and with other situations I've been going through. So, but this week I'm probably going to be dropping these two videos I'm excited about. One is reacting to some photography fails, and another one is doing a gear review of these guys right here, the Go Wireless 2. So, and then Shark Fin says, "Yep, the Scout Law and Oath." Yeah, and so really when it comes down to it, like, you got to be honest with your community. Like, don't try to steal people's content. I can't stress that enough. Don't, I brought this up on Clubhouse last night, and how I asked the question, how to make someone feel if you as a content creator were to go on like TikTok, or to go on YouTube or Instagram and post this great content, and someone was to mimic you word for word, sound for sound, and try to even do a voiceover and have your voice as their audio. Like, how would that make you feel? Like, I know that for me, I would feel, at first I'd feel like that was a compliment, and I say like, cool, like, but that's my content, like that's my voice. But secondly, I would probably reach out to that person and say like, hey, I appreciate your desire to be successful on this, but you got to find you got to put your own kind of twist on this, in this niche, really, because you don't want to mimic someone word for word, line for line, sound for sound. But going back to the chat, Daylin says, I think once a week is great. It's just perfect. And that's true. I've talked with this has actually been brought up on Clubhouse a lot. I've talked with other people about this. If you post too much, you might annoy your subscribers, or you might even run the risk of getting burned out. There are people that are able to do it, and then to those people, more power to you. A Train, who of the Elliott Family of Seven, they post at least once a day. They post every day throughout the week, and that's great. Like, if they can do that. But I know that for me, like, especially being in the niche that I'm in, it takes a lot of planning out. It takes time to plan out my scripts. And scripting we'll talk about here in a little bit. I'll talk about that and the importance of it. But it takes looking for answering those specific questions, and really just going and seeing what people are searching for. And a great place to do that, if you don't know what this website is called answerthepublic.com. Each day you can do 2 free searches on answerthepublic.com. If you do more than that, you got to pay for membership. I only use the 2 searches a day, and so I try to really think about my searches and really just get involved and really see what people are focusing on. And I don't want to just like do something generic. Like, if you just type in like photography, it's going to come up with like lists upon lists upon lists. But if you genuinely like say like, if you do more kind of if you answer those specific questions, like, if you do like the how to become a better photographer, or how to use Lightroom in your editing process, you're going to start seeing like, different trends of things that people are looking for. And so answerthepublic.com is a great website to really utilize in your content creation. But going back to the chat, Elvira just said, I just filmed an unboxing, not a review, of my Roboid, I can't even pronounce that, I'm getting tongue-tied, tools. I have to look and see if it's good to post. Just post it, and just post it, Elvira. Like, what harm can it do? Like, just post it. You took the time to record it, post it, edit it, and really just get it up there, because you may have something in there that someone can resonate with and really just be a part of. And then Daylin says, yes, Elvira, post. I loved your last one, Elvira. So there you go. And then Lalo is in the house. Lalo, my thoughts are with you right now, man. I know you've been having some family struggles, and you guys have been having to go to the hospital a lot. So my thoughts and prayers are with you right now. I know that's kind of cliche to say my thoughts and prayers are with you, but you know me, Lalo. You know that when I say something like that, I'm very genuine, and I'm being very genuine and honest when I say that. And he's just saying, hey, Lalo. And so Daylin says, Anthony, I found that when I post that once a week, I get less, and more than once a week, I get less engagement. And that's true, because you really have to give the algorithm time to really disperse your video out to the different viewers, people who are searching for things in that niche, And since Daylin, you're in that vlog style channel, you want to make sure that your content is reaching certain people. And And over time, if you were to post like more than once a week, yeah, you could probably train the algorithm to shoot out your content more, to just shoot it out and just really get people involved. But at the same time, like, it's more, I feel like it's more appreciated, especially coming from, like, the fact that I even as a content creator, like, I subscribe to various other channels, and knowing that, like, people aren't going to be bombarding me like every waking minute with their videos and their content. I appreciate that, because I feel like they're not just trying to sell me something, and they respect my notifications. But going back to the chat, um, see, Lalo, we all think that you are a celebrity, my friend. We all know you're a celebrity. We all know that, like, when we grow up, we want to be just like Lalo. And so Elvira said, thank you. I greatly appreciate your support. Elvira, we're all here to support you on this. Like, I cannot emphasize that enough. I'm saying that phrase a lot. I guess that's just kind of what I'm being known for, that, and it's just my 2 cents. Those are 2 phrases I say a lot, and everyone in the chat, they know that I say those 2 phrases a lot, but it's just my 2 cents. So, and yeah, so, and that's just like, Elvira just post it, and I will watch. Yeah, Elvira, post it. We will all watch. But Dalen says, Anthony, we have to work on a photography collab. I also have my photography channel. Picture it. Yeah, definitely. Like, I would love to do. I'm always open to collabs. Obviously, like, when it comes to, Dalen, I know you. I've talked with you quite a bit on Clubhouse, on Instagram. But, like, when it comes to new people I don't know, I always tell people that, if you want to, for business inquiries, like, they have to reach out to me via the email that's on my channel, and then I will kind of go through and see what, when, where, and who I collab with. So going back to the chat, we're here for you, man. I mean, we're here for you, Elvira. Sorry, this has been a day. It's raining right now. It has been raining, so my mind's a little off because I'm used to warmer weather. But going back to the chat, everyone just knows that Lalo's a celebrity. Yeah, of course, Elvira. Like, we're here to support you. We grow together, we fall together. And so, Nano says, I'm about to do 2 videos a week, and one is a live stream and the other is a produced video, plus a new club on Clubhouse time, Friday nights Eastern Standard Time. And so that's great. Like, if you can do that, Luis, that's great. Like, one thing I can't emphasize enough, there's that phrase again, is you don't want to stretch yourself too thin, because then you push the potential of burning out. There's a lot of great creators who get burnout. I have had burnout before. It sucks. It really does. I can't say enough about that. There were for like 4 months I didn't post anything. I kept saying in my mind, like, I really need to post a video, but I really don't have the desire to right now. So, I mean, it's great to take a break, but at the same time, like, don't overstretch yourself, and really just take care of your mental health. I bring that up a lot because mental health is key. If your health is in jeopardy, you're not going to do well on this You're not going to produce decent content. And I cannot say that enough. I cannot emphasize that enough. Man, I just can't get away from that phrase. Yeah. And so Annette says, good for you, Luis. That's great news. And so, yeah, Luis, that's awesome. If you feel like you can do that, like, more power to you, man. Like, more power to you. Like, I think that's great. The one word of caution I would stress to anyone is that if you're spending more time in Clubhouse than you are posting content, something needs to change. I was there for a while. I was spending way too much time in Clubhouse, and I wasn't posting anything. And so I had to really kind of reevaluate what was important. Was it, getting to know other content creators, or was it really just posting great content? Because in the end, they may remember you from Clubhouse, but they'll be more likely to remember you, excuse me, from the content that you post. Mr. Beast, everyone knows Mr. Beast. Even if you don't like him, you know who he is, you know what kind of content he makes, but that's what he's known for. What do you want to be known for? Do you want to be known as the person that just hangs out on Clubhouse all day instead of posting great content? Or do you want to be the person that occasionally jumps on Clubhouse but is posting great content and is more focused on that? Because one of the people that's in this community that he's normally been here, he's probably spending time with his wife and daughter right now, is Colin. Colin chose to really just go all in on YouTube, and he decided to quit his job and go full time on YouTube. And he's talked with me about his day to day. He spends 10 hours a day with his YouTube content now. And yeah, that's a lot, but it's going to pay off. You know, he already has a course that he's working on, getting ready to release to the public. He has so much that he's doing towards his, not just his future, but his wife and his little girl's future, and really just being that next great content creator and really just producing great content. So that's what he's starting to become known for. Going back to the chat, Sharkfin said your health is linked to your wealth, and that is so true. If you're not taking care of yourself, you're not going to do well. You know, Lalo posted the other day in this Instagram group chat about this guy that he was so focused on producing great content that it started to affect his health. Like, he wasn't getting much sleep at night. He was gaining weight because he was really just sitting in front of his computer, recording videos, checking analytics, and that's all great. And I'm not discouraging that at all, because I check analytics, I check everything. I check to see how many views I've received on live streams or pre-recorded videos. But you got to make sure that you're taking care of yourself health-wise, whether it be mental, physical, or emotional, or all three. You got to make sure that you're 100% healthy, because, like, I'm going to be honest with you. There are times when I am depressed. Like, you know, I have depression. There are times when I have no desire to record because I know that, number one, I don't feel like recording if I'm depressed. Number two, I'm not going to bring much value because I'm going to have this kind of the Eeyore syndrome. Number three, people are going to really be disappointed in my content. And really just, you got to make sure your health is your number one priority. Like, don't get me wrong, I love producing videos. I love producing content. This is great. This is fun. But if you're not doing what you need to do to take care of yourself healthy, to take care of yourself and your health, then what's the point in posting great content? It's just something to think about. Going back to the chat, I feel like I just kind of lectured like a father figure. I'm not even married yet, and I feel like I just did that. I feel like I just lectured people. So I apologize if you feel like I was just kind of lecturing. I was not trying to. I was just kind of stressing the importance of things. But going back to the chat, Dylan says, we can't wait for Annette to open her vlog channel. Yes, Annette is going to be opening a vlog channel where she's going to be basically showing you the day in the life of someone that lives in Florida. And I can't wait for that, because, like, I've never been to Florida. People tell me, like, oh, you got to go check out Florida. It's great. You know, Disney World is so much better than Disneyland. I can't wait for it. So, Annette, I know that you're kind of focused on the real estate channel, and that's great. And that's one thing that I do want to stress real quick, is that you should probably, like, unless you're Daylin, who we all know Daylin's becoming kind of like a master of YouTube, focus on one channel, and then once that channel takes off, then start another channel, and then start another one, you know, so on and so forth. But usually by then you'll have like a team or of people who you hired to help you with your channel. But going back to the chat, Elvira just called you out, Annette. She said, yes, Annette, we're waiting. And so going back to the chat, she said, Dalen says, I've been editing more and being more mindful of the time I spend on Clubhouse. And that's smart. Dalen, I used to spend way too much time on Clubhouse. You know, when I wasn't working, so I work for a pharmacy part-time. I'm a delivery driver, where I deliver prescriptions to shut-ins and such. And before I had that job, like last fall, I was spending like way too much time on Clubhouse. I was on there probably like 95% of the day, and it wasn't healthy because I wasn't really doing too much with my content. See, Elvira, she says Elvira is coming very soon. And so Nana says, preach it, Anthony, let people know to stop wasting time on social media. And that's another thing. I cannot emphasize this enough because I used to always do this. I would be scrolling through Facebook, watching, videos or reels or whatever the takes, when I could have been using that time to posting great content. Like, how much time did I waste just sitting there wondering, oh, I wonder what this person's up to. Or, oh, this person has a great status update. Like, that's great. And I love social media, but there's a time and a place for it. Just saying. Yeah, we cannot wait, Annette. We're excited for you. And so going back to the chat, man, people are. So Annette says, yes, Daylin, let's see what I can vlog about my life. Annette, I'm sure you can make anything interesting. That was actually the first type of channel I first considered starting back in 2016 was a vlog channel. But at that time, I was working at a grocery store, and I felt like my life was kind of boring. But then my mom brought up a point. She's like, you definitely could have made that interesting. Because believe me, I had some crazy customers, some crazy stories, people freaking out over the stupidest or simplest little things. And that's what my biggest regret with YouTube was, not starting sooner and not really just jumping on the bandwagon of being a content creator, because I would already have entered into the YPP by this point. Going back to the chat, Lalo says, I'm excited in that. And yes, and that we're waiting. And so, and Dalen says, mine too. I only get out to eat and on the weekends. Again, Dalen, I'm sure you can make that vlog channel very interesting. Day in the life of a stay-at-home mom. I'm sure you have some pretty crazy stories with your little ones, and then just with interactions. And so, and that we're all just waiting. Going back to the chat, Daylin says, I just vlog on what I can. I bet your life is super interesting to us. And really, like, when it comes down to, like, I personally, I like the vlog channels. There's a family that I follow here in Utah. It's called Yahweh Vlogs, and they just show you like what's going on in their daily life, and they make it interesting. But they always have a catchphrase at the very end of each video. It's called, and they say, "You are worth it." And so, if you don't know who this family is, it's Yahweh Vlogs. I'll post a link to it later on. But yeah, that's a great channel. But I love watching those kind of channels. So, and then Nano says, Annette, you are not boring. Stop. I see your Instagram is full of fun things. And see, Annette, remember what Angie has said to me. You got to stop the negative talk. You got to just press record. Take Sean Cannell's advice. Punch fear in the face and hit record, and then just make sure it's 1% better with every video. So, and then Daylen's just like, I'm just super indecisive. And I get that. I do get that. And then Lalo, he responded, Day, I watched your video about making the mistake of renaming your channel many times. It was a good video. And so, see, that's how it all comes out to being. So, man, we got a lot of people in the chat. So I'm excited. But so I want to bring up this comment because Sharkfin says, I'd honestly probably be on Clubhouse more often than they had direct monetization model. Unless until they do, I'll turn more focus to live streaming. And I think that that's an important thing, is that, like, I mean, on Clubhouse, you can receive like tips and people will tip you and everything. Like, I personally don't know how I feel about that. Like, when I'm on Clubhouse, I just want to give value to people for free. Like, I don't expect people to give me tips. I don't expect them on Clubhouse to say like, oh, well, here's $5 for helping me out with this. Like, I just want to help people to succeed. And I still to this day don't know how I feel about that, about the whole tipping process on Clubhouse. But see, Daylin, you got a lot of support. And then Nat said, Nano, thanks, my friend. We will see how it goes. I'm excited for it. And Nat, you have that Sony ZV-1. That is probably one of the best vlogging cameras out there. That Yahweh Vlogs family, they use the Canon M50, which is great, and I'm not against the Canon M50 to the point well, I guess I'm somewhat against it because and this is coming from a Canon user. Like, I'm not against Canon because I love Canon, the Canon brand, but I'm more prone to go to their DSLRs than their Canon M50. So that's just the photographer side of me. Um, but hey, this guy right here, this is the man, the myth, the legend, A Train. This guy, oh my goodness, he's him and his wife and his kids are just killing it on YouTube. They're down there in Arizona. They do like shopping hauls. I was watching one of your videos earlier, man. Like, it was great to see like how you were just seeing like you and your wife's interactions and how one of your kids was like, "Oh, I want this, I want that, I want this," and you're just like, "Oh, you want that, huh?" And that you're just killing it on the vlog. So if anyone watching this on whether it be live or on the replay, go check out A Train's his channel because like they're just killing it. And so I mean, we all know that A Train is just a celebrity and that he's a celebrity in the house. See, look at this, A Train. You got all these people that are just saying like, "Hey," I mean, this is cool, man. Like, you are just a celebrity. Well, Annette, you have your all that content. My advice to you would be if you can somehow piece it all together and even just do YouTube shorts on it, on that new channel, do it. Like, what's holding you back? What's holding you back? That's what you have to ask yourself. Like, what is holding you back? And see, Elvira says post it. So we're waiting for it. And then so Luis says the Sony ZV-1 is an excellent vlogging camera. This is coming from an owner. Yeah. So it's Nano. He has two of them, and so number one. I'm very jealous of you, Nano, that you have two of these cameras because these things are impossible. These cameras are impossible to get a hold of right now because of the shortage in chips and such. But really, just yeah, it's the perfect vlogging camera. And see, then Annette says Elliot's channel is one of my favorite family channels on YouTube. See, and I gotta disagree with this, A Train. You are a celebrity. Your family, your celebrities. It's kind of like how like last week when we were saying that Viper was a celebrity on Clubhouse. We all know that the Elliott family of 7 is just a family of celebrities. Like, the mere fact that you guys have posted so much content and you try to show people the great deals like Costco, Walmart, Sam's Club, and really just have fun while doing it. Like, that's what YouTube is about, like having fun while posting content. There's a video I'm going to be coming out with this week called Photographer Reacts to Photography Fails. It's a working title. I'm going to somehow change the title around, make it a little bit more interesting. But I'm excited for this video because I already kind of have an understanding like what I'm going to say. I'm going to make this really fun because that's what I love to do with YouTube. I love making my content fun, making people laugh, letting people have fun, and just even pulling out the feels. Like when I did that short film on the life of the dog, it was hard at times when I was making that because a lot of it was of dogs that my family had lost that had gone to, heaven and such. So, but going back to the chat, see, Annette agrees with me. She said, "You are a big YouTuber, Elliott family of 7." We all know it. And so, and he's like, "I might do an accountability group on Clubhouse tonight. I'll see if I can come. I have some stuff I got to type up for two of my college classes tonight. So I'll try to. If I come, I'll probably just may give some insights here and there. But yeah, I got to make sure I pass these classes." And so Nano says, "What I like about the ZV-1 is small and not in your face like the big camera for vlogging." And that makes sense. Like, I really do get that. Now this is coming from someone that is a photographer. I have a tendency to lean more towards the DSLRs, and that's just because I almost said I'm a YouTuber. I am a YouTuber, but I am also someone who I'm used to the DSLR cameras, and so like ZV-1s are great, but like I think if I had my choice, I probably in the future I'm going to be upgrading to some of the bigger DSLR Canon cameras because I'm a big Canon fan. I'm a Sony fan, but when it comes to like photography, I've been meaning to upgrade my DSLR for some time. Like right now, I'm shooting with a Canon Rebel T6. It's kind of older, so much so that they don't even really make them. You can't even find them in stores now. But yeah, I'm planning on upgrading soon to a new to a new DSLR. But going back to the chat, Sharkfin says, Anthony, just to clarify, I meant Clubhouse partnership program similar to YouTube. So, for example, if I get paid for running Clubhouse rooms and moderating other rooms, I didn't mean individuals. No, I know what you meant, Sharkfin. I know what you meant, and hopefully, maybe in the future that'll happen. Like I think that would be great. But until that happens, I think that if you have to kind of evaluate, how much time am I spending on Clubhouse as in comparison to what I should be posting on with content in regards to YouTube and TikTok and then Instagram and all that kind of stuff. And so, see, oh my goodness. Yeah, he is a big YouTuber. A Train is a big YouTuber. I mean, we're all small YouTubers in comparison to A Train. Like, we're all small, and but yeah. Let's see here. Going back to the chat. Sorry, there's just a lot of people. It will be a working chat. That's fine. I will try to jump in. I will try to jump in. So people who are watching this on the replay or watching it live, Clubhouse is a great social audio room. You have great content creators like A Train, Annette, Lalo, Nano's in there, Daylin's in there, and I guess you can consider me as one. I just give feedback when I can. I just don't try to overtalk because sometimes I have a tendency to overtalk, and I apologize. But it's a great way to really help you to become a better content creator. But going back to the chat, I see here. So Dalen says, I have to research the ZV-1. I bet it is more expensive than the Canon M50. I'm actually enjoying my little M50. Yes. So Dalen, right now the ZV-1 is really expensive, and they're hard to come by right now because of the chip shortage and everything. It's kind of like the whole situation with people who are fighting over these new gaming consoles and how people are like asking like these large amounts for something that should be normally $500. They're asking for like 1,800 or less, and really they're hard to come by right now, and they are expensive. And so she also said, Anthony, I'm a Canon girl. I own a Canon SD. And see, like I've been a Canon person for some time. Like when I first got my DSLR, my brother said, he's like, hey, you got to be mindful that once you choose a certain camera and start buying lenses for it, you can't use those lenses for other cameras. Like, yeah, I mean, and to kind of add to that, like you can get adapters for them, but it just doesn't really work out. But see, A Train, we're expecting you to open that room later tonight. But then Lalo says, I spend a lot of time on Clubhouse, but it's okay because I try to be productive on the side and also get to make some awesome connections and bring value to people. And that's great. I just know that for me personally, like, I've sometimes spent way too much time on Clubhouse. We're all a little jelly of the ZV-1. But so Nano said, with the ZV-1, people don't question you compared to the bigger cameras for vlogging purposes. You can take it to more places without getting a headache. And I get that. But now you're talking to someone who's a photographer, and I love my my Canon DSLR. It's great, and I'm gonna continue to keep it as a backup cam when I upgrade. So he also said, yes, the Canon M50 costs less than the ZV-1, and yeah, it's true, it does cost less, but you're going to get better quality, in my opinion. And to be honest with you, if I was to get a vlogging camera, I probably would first get an M50, and then if you felt like you needed to upgrade, then upgrade to the ZV-1, because number one, you just need to have a good camera. But if you're one of those in the room, in the audience, that is like, I need to get a good camera before I start out with YouTube, use this. Use your phone, use your smartphone, even if it's like an iPhone 6, use it and just start posting content. And so then Sharkfin, he went on to say, he's like, going back to the film days, I traditionally have been a Canon guy over Nikon. I would strongly consider Sony as an alternative for a digital mirrorless, and that's great. Like, and I'm kind of in the same boat. Like, but I'm loyal to Canon. Like, I love Canon products. Like, my DSLR is Canon. My family's had Canon printers in the past. You know, we are a big Canon family, and I really just kind of follow in the footsteps of my oldest brother / mentor for photography, and that's my brother George. He really just kind of got me interested in the Canon cameras and such. So I didn't forget about you, smartphone vloggers. I just mentioned it. Don't you be calling me out on that, A-Train. Like, what the heck, man? Like, I mean, you have the same name as me. Your name is Anthony, but you just go by A-Train. But like, we Anthony's got to stick together. And so Dalen says, yes, we need Lalo on Clubhouse. It's true, we do need him on Clubhouse, but at the same time, like, you know, I feel like people need to prioritize their time. Like, if you can edit your video and be on Clubhouse at the same time, great. But if your editing time is being impeded by your time spent on Clubhouse, maybe you need to reevaluate your priorities. That's just me. I don't always, you know, some of you that are in the chat right now, you've pinged me into rooms and I haven't responded because either I felt like I was spending too much time on Clubhouse, or I was busy, or whatever the cost. But really, I've had to because this is coming from someone that I was heavily addicted to just hanging out on Clubhouse, saying like, oh, this is so much fun, talking to other creators. But the thing about these other creators is a lot of them had already, you know, entered into the YPP, or they had like, you know, a ton of subscribers and they had all sorts of success. And so that's why I say, like, you got to kind of evaluate your priorities if you're spending way too much time on it. But yeah. See, I've mentioned the smartphone vloggers. There's nothing wrong with smartphone vlogging. I use this for my content all the time. Like, this is really how I record my content right now, is because my Canon Rebel T6 doesn't have a mic output on the side. I wish it did, but it doesn't. And so until I get a better camera, this is my camera. But going back to the chat, see, we need Lalo and Dalen and Clubhouse. Let's just put it at that. We just need you both in Clubhouse. And so Nano says, I agree. Social media can be an addiction. There needs to be a fine balance. And yeah, it's all things in moderation. You know, we're all taught from a young age that, you know, you got to have all things in moderation, from like, you know, eating meat sparingly, you know, not overdoing it with like fast food, not overdoing it with like candy and sugar and junk food. Kind of think about that in the same regard to like social media and content creation. I know that's like a bad comparison, but that's how I think about it. Like, you know, if you need to go on a diet from social media, then do it. Like, I mean, you can take that, you can quote me on that from here on out, saying that I told you to go on a diet from social media if you have to. There's nothing wrong with going on a diet from social media, in my opinion. Yeah. See, those watching, this is what I have to put up with from A-Train on Clubhouse. This guy, like, he's such a sarcastic individual. I think sometimes A-Train is more sarcastic than I am. And that's saying a lot, because those who know me know that I'm very sarcastic. But sometimes he just throws down the gauntlet and he just sets the marker for like how sarcastic or someone's going to be, especially on Clubhouse. So A-Train. But going back to content creation, When it comes to content creation, it has been my experience that if you're not bringing value to your content, then you need to go back and reevaluate this. And so I know I've said that before, but let's kind of just dissect that a little bit. Let's say you have a video you worked tirelessly on, you got like 3 hours of sleep for an entire each night for an entire week because you spent so much time on the editing process of this video and you're so proud of it. You're just like, I can't wait to have my audience see this, my subscribers, they're gonna love this. And let's say it doesn't even pan out. You don't really just it doesn't take off, and you just think in your mind like, I spent a lot of time on this video. Like, what the heck? That's a telltale sign. You should probably go back and see what you spent the most time on and try to get away from that. Like, and talking with other content creators, other YouTubers, people don't care about all these fancy transitions. That's one thing that I was misguided, that I was under the impression of when I first started on YouTube, was that you had to do all these like crazy effects and all these crazy transitions and like just make these things like just epic and have like epic music. No, they are here because they want to know something that you have to talk about. Think about this as a public speech, but you're on the internet. People don't pay hundreds of dollars to go hear someone speak and just to have them show a whole lot of different effects and transitions. They want to know what they have to say, and they want to take notes. They want to get excited about whatever it is that speaker is talking about. So think about that in regards to your content. Like, people don't, well, I shouldn't say they don't care, because they do care. They do, having background music at times and videos is great. But when you do overkill on the transitions, the effects, the music, everything in between and more, it's going to kill your video, because it's really not you're really not bringing value to the real reason why people clicked on the video. I did a gear review on these two. I have a light right here, and I have a light right over here. I did a gear review on it, and I really just kind of dove in and talked with people about, like how great these are. And I tried to get people excited about and get interested in these lights, because I feel like these GVM lights had value. I didn't want to do all these like crazy transitions, like, oh, check out this epic transition to this GVM light, or I didn't care about all that. Yeah, I did some background music in it, and I did like an intro, like an intro bumper kind of thing, but I really just tried to bring that value. I feel like I just kind of was on a pedestal right there, and I apologize. But I say that from the bottom of my heart, because being a content creator, it's great to have those effects and everything, but at the end of the day, people are clicking on your video because they want to answer to a question that maybe you have the answer to. So whether it be that you find value in it, that comes down to you as the subscriber, as the viewer, and as the watcher, but also as the creator, you got to make your content viewer friendly. Don't be doing all sorts of crazy transitions and everything. Like, the one thing I would definitely say is, don't be trying to put in too many crazy like After Effects, Adobe After Effects, and things of that nature, because it's going to distract the person. It might even turn them off from your future content. So that's just my 2 cents. There's that one phrase again. But what are the questions or comments do you guys have about content creation? Because personally, like, I love this. And actually, Lala, he just said, I focus on storytelling first, and once I'm confident in the content, then I do crazy effects and transitions, and that's great. When it comes, storytelling is probably one of the most important parts about being a content creator. Really just bringing that value to whatever it is you have to say. And at the end of the day, people aren't going to be going like, oh man, do you guys see Lalo's sick transitions and his crazy After Effects in his video? Like, oh, that was sick. They're going to be talking about what story you had to tell in that video. They're not going to be worried about that, the rest of that stuff. Like, they may comment, say like, oh, what's that music that you used? Or like, what editing programs do you use? But at the end of the day, they're going to be more focused on what story you have to tell in that video more than anything. And I know that for a lot of you, I'm preaching to the choir, but for those who are watching on the replay or watching live, this is what I've had to find out the hard way. I used to compare myself, like I said, to Peter McKinnon, to Mr. Beast, to a whole lot of other content creators, even people that are like one of my mentors, Sean Cannon. I used to compare myself to him. I used to compare myself to Professor Nez. Like I can, but at the same time, Professor Nez said to me in one of the first rooms I was ever in with him, he said, there are over 7 billion people on planet Earth. Or if you're to watch his live streams, he says planet Earth. Um, but he said there's only one you. And so, and then I have another friend, another YouTube content creator friend, Avery Ford. He said, he pulled me aside into another side clubhouse room. He said, if people were wanting Peter McKinnon's videos, they would go to his channel. But they clicked on your video for a reason, because they wanted to get your take on this subject. So that's what I cannot emphasize enough, because you are unique. You were bound to be here on the earth at this time, and you have a message that someone needs to hear. Don't be trying to mimic other creators. I cannot emphasize that enough. You know, it's just my 2 cents on that. There's those 2 famous slogans. You know, everyone has them. Those are mine too, I guess. I say those a lot. But I'm being real with you, because this is what I used to do. I used to compare myself drastically, and it was really bad. Like I almost gave up on YouTube at least 3 or 4 times. I was getting really frustrated. I felt like it wasn't taking off. And actually, one of my good friends who's going to be helping me out with that gear review later on this week, where we're going to be reviewing these Rode Go Wireless 2 mics. I messaged him one night and I said, I'm done. I'm just going to sell my camera, all my photography equipment, and everything. I'm just done. And he said, he's like, can I be honest with you real quick? He's like, can I be honest with you? I'm like, yeah, go for it. He's like, if you were to do that, you would immediately regret it. And so he pulled me back down to earth, to earth, in the words of Professor Nez. And he really just made me realize that this is something that I want to do, and that there was a reason I joined and I started a YouTube channel, and that was to help other people and to bring value and entertainment, I guess, edutainment, to other people, and to bring some light into their lives. And so, take it from me, someone who has almost given up on YouTube several times, you're going to get there. You are definitely going to get there. You don't know how much people need you. You don't know how much people are seeking after the content and the knowledge that you have, whether it just be you're a family a vlog channel, or you're a real estate channel, or you're an audio channel, or a tech channel, whatever. There's so many different channels. Know that your point of view and your knowledge is needed on this platform. And that's why when people ask, is it too late to start up on YouTube? I will always say no. And the reason I say that is because you bring value in a different way on a certain niche. You do. You know, yeah, you may have some of the same point of views as, like, you know, maybe you're in the tech niche like me, the tech photography, videography niche like me, and maybe you have some of the same kind of opinions, but at the same time, you have your different opinions, you have your different takes on things. So, to anyone watching this, if you think that it is too late to start on YouTube, you're wrong. It's not. This is the best time to be starting on YouTube. I was privileged enough to go to Grow with Video Live. Well, to watch it, I couldn't go in person, but to watch it this past week, and really just listen to, like, Gary Vaynerchuk, and listen to several other keynote speakers, and really just see how they love the creator economy. They love being able to share their story online. You know, Gary V, he emphasized the importance of getting on TikTok and really just going all in on TikTok. You know, he has, if you want to talk to someone that's very blunt about content creation and why you should be getting on it, Gary Vaynerchuk is that person. If you want to talk to someone about how YouTube is the second largest search engine, and why right now is the best time to be a content creator and to jump on YouTube. You could definitely, I would definitely highly recommend talking to Professor Nez, Sean Cannell of Think Media, Heather Torres of Think Media, and so many other countless people who can testify to you that this is the best time to be a content creator. YouTube Shorts, they're in the talks about having them become part of the monetization process. I mean, how exciting is that? That you can post a 1 minute reel on a 1 minute short on YouTube, and it can help with your monetization process. I mean, how cool is that? Like when I was in the senior class of in 2006 of my high school. At that time, YouTube existed, but you could never have fathomed being able to be a full-time YouTuber, having this as a career. But we live in such a great time. You know, I cannot emphasize that enough. And so I want to go back to the chat because I feel like I've kind of just brought out the feels in some people, but that's what I do. So Elvira says, at home, I've always been window based, so I bought the Adobe CS2 collection. In that case, I learned Adobe Premiere myself. So, and then she said, I need to learn how to do those crazy Lalo effects. And Elvira, that is great. If you have that goal, that is great. But just remember, at the end of the day, it is not about the effects. It is not about the crazy transitions. You can do all sorts of that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, people just want value. They just want value. You know, that Yaoi Vlogs channel that I talked about earlier, they don't do all sorts of crazy transitions. They have an intro buffer where they kind of show like who's all in the family, but they don't have these crazy transitions for that very reason. And so when it comes down to it, don't get caught up in the crazy effects that you can add into this. Like I see these advertisements online all the time. Like you can add this crazy effects into your videos, and it'd be so cool. It'll make your videos just pop out. It might, but what's going to really make your video stand out is bringing value. I cannot say that enough. It is just I cannot emphasize that enough because I have watched some videos where they added too many effects and it kind of turned me off from it. But the videos I've come to find that I enjoy are the ones like, you know, A Train, who just they show you what's real. They show you real life. They show you, you know, they're trying to help you to save money. They try to give you examples on like what things you can do to cook for your family, and really just get involved and be happy with life. Because right now we need some happiness in life, like with the whole stuff that's going on in Ukraine, inflation. You know, the whole thing about people not being able to afford to buy houses right now. It's just there's so many things that can get you down, and so a lot of people go to YouTube for this very reason. They want to be inspired. They want to be encouraged. If you want any encouragement, then shoot, go look up motivational videos on YouTube because they will inspire you to do some great things. That's what I've had to do in the past. But going back to the chat, you are too kind, Daylin. She said, thank you for the inspiration, Anthony. Daylin, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. And really just thank you for showing up. We, you know, as part of my community, I appreciate you showing up and being a part of this chat, because that's really what this comes down to, is like, what value am I bringing to my community and the people that I serve? And so I'm thankful that you enjoyed that. And we all want to be a good storyteller like Lalo. Lalo is an incredible storyteller. I put him up there right along with Professor Nez, Sean Cannell, Heather Torres, all these people. That's where I rank Lalo, because he's really good at sharing his story with people and just really having a good time while doing it. And that's what we all should be aspiring to do, is just doing what we love. And I could go on and on about that. But Elvira, she said, true, maybe I need to throw in some cooking. Yeah, really, Elvira, when it comes down to it, it's not all about the crazy effects. You know, those are great. And I'm not discrediting those at all. I'm not discrediting anyone that uses them because I've used them in the past. But when it comes down to it, value is what people are seeking after. Whether it be you're a gamer and you're streaming a game, someone clicked on your video because they want to know more about that game. Or if you are like Daylin and someone that says, well, she talks about being a stay-at-home mom and this, what it's like to be a stay-at-home mom. Maybe that's another mom that's getting kind of depressed about being a stay-at-home mom, feeling like they're not adding anything to the world. And so they stumble upon Daylin's channel and they think, wow, I can really resonate with this person. Like, how cool is that? Like, that's one of my favorite things about content creation is when someone comes back and says, hey, that was a great video. I loved the video, and I subscribed. One of my first ever reaction video, actually. I had fun with it. I was very involved, having fun, laughing, and someone subscribed. Someone commented on this and like, I was laughing so hard I had to subscribe. And I appreciated that because like really like YouTube's all about doing something you love, talking about something you love. Professor Nez is a great example. The man loves talking about the creator economy. If you don't know who Professor Nez is right now, I would highly recommend that after you are done watching this live stream or the replay of this live stream, you go check him out because this guy, if you want to know anything about the content creation the creator economy, if I can get my words out, this is the man to go check out. Oh, I feel like I just lectured everybody. I apologize if I felt like I was just being like a fatherly figure. I'm not even married or anything. I don't feel like I was just giving a pep talk. But yeah, I love being a content creator. It's fun. I'm excited to do these upcoming videos because these are things that I love to do. I love creating content. I love creating that edutainment for people and just talking about something I'm very passionate about. And what I'm passionate about is helping you to grow on YouTube, but also more specifically, I'm more passionate about tech, photography, and videography. And really just getting people excited about upcoming tech because right now, I can tell you right now, there's a ton of cool stuff that is going to be coming out in the tech field. And really just I'm excited for it, not only from the standpoint of something you can hold in your hand, like a handheld device, but like the electric cars that are coming out. Oh man, I am so excited. You have no idea. Like that's just a part of that tech niche that I cannot wait to just dive into and really just talk to you about because yeah, we have Tesla, but all these other car manufacturers like Nissan, Toyota, Ford, all these ones, they're coming out with so much cool tech when it comes to their cars, and I'm so excited about it. What a time to live. What a time to be alive. Like, I love this so much. Thanks, Larry. You're too kind. I appreciate that. One day I will be. One day. But right now I'm trying to get this business off the ground and really just bring people along with me on the journey, whether it be that they work for me, they work with me, or they just follow along with the videos. Like, I just want to inspire people. I really just want to be involved in people's lives and have fun. But I want to ask, what do people think of the beard? Should I shave it or should I keep it? Should I shave the beard or should I keep the beard? Some people say I look really good in it. Some people would probably say you should shave. But let me know in the chat if you think I should shave it or if you think I should keep it because that's something that it doesn't take very long to grow. But I feel like when I have the beard, I feel like I'm Tony Stark. I actually dressed up as Tony Stark a number of years ago for Halloween and pulled it off amazingly well. But the funny thing about that is at the time I was working at McDonald's and I couldn't grow facial hair unless it was a creeper stash. I call them creeper stashes because that's what I feel like. No offense to anyone that wears mustaches. I'm not meaning you at all, but I just didn't want to have one. So I had to use makeup for the beard, and I pulled it off pretty well. I'll find it and post a link to it on my Twitter so people can find it later on. Well, thank you. I have a love-hate relationship with the beard because I love growing it, but maintaining it sometimes is the biggest pain. Making sure it's not overgrown because like I'm not one to have like one of those big Duck Dynasty beards. Like I don't like those kind of beards. Like I just feel like you're just asking for grossness in those. But at the same time, like especially in the wintertime, it's great when you have a beard because it helps keep your face a little bit warmer. Although, if you're a woman, please don't wear a beard. I cannot emphasize that enough. Please don't have a beard if you're a woman. I cannot emphasize that enough. Looks good either way. Thank you. I appreciate that. But I really do appreciate that. But yeah, content creation, man, there's so much cool stuff that's going to be coming out. There's so many amazing products when it comes to tech that I cannot wait to talk to you about. Luis, he understands my excitement about this. I'm sure there are several others in the chat that know how excited I nerd out at tech ever since I was a kid. When I would go grocery shopping with my mom, and we'd go to like Walmart or Target, I'd always say like, you know exactly where I'm going to be, and that's the electronics. And she's like, yep. And so I'd go over there, I'd look at things. Obviously, when you're a kid, you go there because you have the free games that you can play, the demos and such. They don't really do that anymore, unfortunately. But I would also just check out the tech. I'd check out CDs. I'd check out so many cool things, and just kind of feel like I was a little kid in a candy store. And at the time, I was a little kid, but that was like a candy store to me. But I think that's really where my love for tech came. But yeah, it's definitely been something that I have always had a love for. Is I love tech, and the mere fact that I get to talk about photography, videography, and so many other aspects that intertwine with those three things, it makes me even more excited. Like everyone knows that I'm a tech nerd. I'm a tech nerd. I should have worked for that Geek Squad from Best Buy because I'm such a tech nerd. But going back to the chat, yeah, you understand. So apparently, this is what Sharkfin said. I'd say shave it, Anthony. It doesn't look bad, but I think clean cut is preferable. ESP when you're trying to grow an audience. We'll see. I'm still deliberating on whether or not I should shave it or not. I like the beard. I'm not gonna lie. I do like the beard, but at the same time, like I have noticed I have a few gray hairs in it now. Joys of getting older, and I'm only 34, and I feel like I'm really old. But yeah. So, what other questions do you guys? We're coming up on. We have about a half hour or so left of the live stream. I try to keep these to 2 hours because I don't want to keep you here all night, and I have some other stuff I do have to accomplish tonight before midnight. But what other questions do you guys have about content creation, like whether it be about my journey or about like maybe tips and advice I could give you? Go ahead and put them in the chat. Okay. You are not old, Lalo. You are a youngin. Lalo, you are 21. When I was 21, I didn't know what the heck I wanted to do with my life. I was more focused on socializing and having fun with friends than I was in taking life seriously. If I could go back and change anything when I was 21, I would be take life more seriously, because I drove my family nuts because I was always gone. I didn't take life very seriously at that point, and I should have. I lost out on many opportunities, whether it be in the dating game or with potential jobs or whatever the case may be. I wish I would have taken life more seriously. Elvira's like, you're 34. I started college at the age of 33 or 34. So Elvira, I started college in my mid 20s. I think I was like 25, 26, but I didn't take it very seriously. And my first year, I was not I was like so many others. I didn't take college as seriously. And so I had to put school on hold for 2 years because of certain situations. Not anything too serious, but I regretted it. And so when I was finally able to go back to college and finish and get to where I'm at now, seeing as how I only have like a year left of college, I would have already been graduated by now. But if I had taken my first year of college a little bit more seriously, by the time I started to take it seriously was the summer of my first year. And by that point, it was kind of too late. I had kind of started. I had issues. We'll just leave it at that. I had issues, but Yeah, college is great. I love college. I'm a supporter of it, but so, and then she went on to say, Elvira went on to say, it took me some 14 years going part time to earn three associate degrees. I worked full time, took care of my son, ran errands, worked on homework, etc. And so, and then Daylin said, I'm 31 and starting to feel it. You know, there's so much more that I cannot wait to accomplish in life. And honestly, like when I look back and working in the working in the retail space that I have for the past so many years, I don't work there anymore, but seeing how some of the 18-year-olds that I worked with act now, I can't believe like, 'cause I got to think about, it, I'm like, man, I really did act like that when I was a kid, when I was that age. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I'm glad to be where I'm at now. So Elvira said, when I finished college, I was around 46 or 47. There's nothing wrong with that. I saw someone some years ago who graduated from BYU at the age of 88 years old. I mean, and that's quite the accomplishment. If you talk about um, big time YouTubers who have gone on to accomplish and finish college, Lindsay Sterling is a great example. She got started um, and with in YouTube when she was in college, and then she went back and she finished. And she stressed in an interview that when she finished and she graduated from BYU, she stressed how she felt like it was important that she went back and finished her degree and got her bachelor's degree. And so I had to give major props to Lindsay Sterling for doing that because being a musician is pretty time consuming from what I understand. But going back to the chat, Lalo says, Daylin, it says, you look younger than 31, Daylin. Twitch, Daylin responded saying, thanks, Lalo. That's the goal. Man, I appreciate you. I really do appreciate you. This has been, you know how to make people feel good and give good compliments, Lalo. That's one thing that people like about you, is knowing that you know how to inspire and encourage people. I try to bring value to every platform I get on, whether it be YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. The list could go on. I try to bring some kind of value. And yeah, it's true. Some people can attend college. My mom, when she was pregnant with me, she was walking around the University of Utah campus, 6 months pregnant with me. And she talked about how it was painful, walking around being pregnant with me, but she still did it. And because she knew that she wanted to create an income for her family, because I grew up in a single parent family. For those who don't know, I grew up in a single parent family. I'm the youngest of 5 boys. And I would have to say, honestly, that my mom raised 5 very well taught boys growing up. We are good members of society. We try to help out, and it's all thanks to her. But yeah, no, I understand that. And so yeah, definitely people of your age can go to college. It does not matter what age you are. There's a great quote that I've heard from C.S. Lewis, and it said, you are never too old to start a new dream. So if you're watching this on the replay and you're considering starting YouTube, jump on. We're ready to help you. We're ready to help you to succeed. We want to help you to succeed. And yeah, just jump on. I appreciate you. I feel like I kind of just lectured, and I guess this was kind of a special. In truth, it was a special creator hangout because I was able to get down to brass taxes and really just be blunt with people, and not blunt in a bad way, but blunt in a good, encouraging way, because that's really who I am at my core. Is I try to encourage people, and I don't beat around the bush. I don't. Anyone who knows me knows that I'm one to say I will give constructive criticism and help people to get to where they need to be. So Elvira said there's a lot of sacrifices, but in the end, it is worth it. It is worth it. It is worth it. And I would still to this day highly recommend, if someone wants to go to college, whether it be so that they can become a business owner and start a YouTube channel, or whatever the case may be. If you feel like you have the strength and the tenacity to go to college, then do it. I would highly recommend it. But there are several there I know of plenty of people who feel like they don't feel like they would do well in a 4 year school to get a degree, and I understand that, and so that's why I say like if you can do it, great. If you can't, then make sure you at least get some kind of certification or learn some kind of trade because it's needed in today's society. So Daylin asked a great question. Anthony, what type of photography do you do? And are you working part-time as a photographer? So those are two great questions, actually. So Daylin, I do portrait and I do landscape photography. Out of the two, I'd have to say I love to do landscape more because I love having, you know, nature as my subject. I am one of those people that I will stand out in snow or rain, or even if it's like 95 degrees outside, like I will stand out there and I'll take photos. Um, if you go on my website, which I'll type in right now, you can see some of my work that I've really just spent a lot of time on. And actually, Shark Fin won one of my prints from a contest a few weeks ago. But so I do it part time. I actually just shot a wedding last weekend, and I was very excited about that. It was a great moment to celebrate, not just because it was family, but just being able to see two families come together and really just see, you know, these two people, this guy and girl that just genuinely cared about each other for so long, get married and form a family and bring two families together it's a great thing. That's one of the most rewarding things about photography is seeing something like that and being able to experience it. And that's one of the things I love about being a photographer is really just having fun and knowing that in the end that I've done my best to help them to remember special occasions. And so these photos that I have taken for them, I know they're gonna love them. I take a lot of time with my photos for very obvious reasons. I want to make sure that I bring them to life and get the best result possible for my clients. I want people to know that I genuinely try. I don't just BS my photos. I genuinely work hard on them. And so that's why some people they have in the past probably gotten frustrated with me because I've maybe taken a little bit too long, but it's because I wanted to make sure I got the best result for them. And so I'm excited for these. And I'm actually probably going to be doing a video on how I edit some of these um, photos here this next week. And because I still have some I need to edit. So yeah, I cannot wait to share that with you. But wow, that was a mouthful. But yeah, I do love photography. I love landscape photography. I have a shot that I don't know if it's on my website, but I shot it of a LDS temple here in Utah on Black Friday, and it was raining out. And I stood out in the rain and still took it, and it turned out amazing because it just helped bring out the detail of the road to it, and just everything just turned out so amazing. I loved it, and everyone that has seen it loved it. So I love being a photographer. Um, so Lalo says, I'm excited for the reaction video and for the Rode Go Wireless 2 review video. Yeah, I'm excited for both of those. With regards to the reaction one, I do have to give people a bit of a preface or like a little heads up. The video I'm going to be reacting to, it does swear a little in it, and I have no control over that. They drop some words in there that I'm not very proud of, but I just have to give people a little bit of a heads up that there will be a few words dropped, and I really have no control over that. But these are things that anyone who's shot photography or videography can relate to, and there's some really funny clips from it. But so then Daylin said, thanks for sharing, Anthony. I love it. I do portraits mostly. I actually sold a photo on a gallery last year. I did a photo shoot of my daughters today. That's awesome. Like, I mean, I'm sure back there where you are, I think you're in Kentucky. I'm sure the weather's great, but right here today, it's been cloudy. It's been storming like it's Memorial Day weekend and we're having rain like all weekend. It's kind of sad, really, because you think about Memorial Weekend, you think about being able to go outdoors and go visit graves and such, and it's just been raining. But going back to, I wanted to mention this, but that when I do the Rode Wireless Go review, Lalo, the friend of mine that I is going to be helping with it is the one that kind of brought me back down to planet Earth. In the words of Professor Nez, his name's Aaron, and I've known this guy for 12. I've known him since 2007. We became good friends with when we both were part of a ballroom dance group. We both joined ballroom dance to impress some girls, and he ended up dating the girl he impressed, but I wasn't so lucky. But yeah, I'm excited to have him help me with the gear review. We're going to be kind of exploring the ins and outs of it and really just getting involved in it. But yeah, thanks, Nano. I appreciate you so much. And then I hope that people got value out of it. But then, so Elvira said, I have some black and white photos I took. I also developed all my photos myself. I should post them on my Instagram. You should. And really just get your name out there. Like, if you want to do this, like, even as a part-time photographer, like, that's really where it comes down. What it comes down to, Elvira, is just getting your content out there and really just getting involved and having people see your work. So Lalo said, Daylin is a great photographer. I was watching her photography tips video, and she is for real talented. And I will definitely have to check out Daylin's channel. But I think going forward with my channel, I am going to start going back to the basics of what every so often with showing different editing techniques with it when it comes to photography and videography. But I'm excited for that. And Nano had to be funny. Cloudy with a meatball chance of rain. Yeah. You're funny, Lala. I mean, I almost called you Lala. Excuse me, Nano. I understand that reference. That was a great movie. And the second one wasn't really needed, but yeah. Well, with that being said, guys, I'm grateful for those who have been here. We do this every week. 5:15 Mountain Standard Time. I love this. I love being able to have you get to know me and other creators. And I understand why a lot of creators weren't able to come up this time because of being a holiday weekend. A lot of people are out of town. But if you found value in this, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. It helps my algorithm, the algorithm for my channel. If you're new here, consider subscribing, especially if you got value out of this, because this is something that I do every week. And normally, about probably 95% of the time, we have other creators on up here with me. We talk about various things to do with YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, whatever the case may be. But with that being said, I always end with this. Do not live in the past, but instead live for the present and the future. I am your friendly neighbor. I'm your friendly neighborhood photographer. Thank you for joining me today. And thank you, Elvira. I just want to give a few shout outs to Elvira, Lalo, Nano, Daylin. We had people earlier, Sharkfin, Annette, who was in there. Thank you guys for all coming and having fun with this. I hope you enjoyed it. I had fun. I look forward to this every week. I always have to, probably halfway through the week, I always remember, like, oh yeah, I got to set that up because I really enjoy it. But that being said, guys, I hope you have a very enjoyable Memorial Day weekend wherever you are. And if you, again, find value in this, consider subscribing. And if you're new here, I'd love to find out where you're watching from on the replay. So we do this every week at 5:15 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. We usually go for about 2 hours to an hour and 45 minutes, just depending upon the situation. But with that being said, guys, I will catch you guys next week, and look for both those videos this week. I'm excited about both of them. So have a good one. Happy Memorial Day weekend. Thanks, guys.